What's up guys, this is Chronic Rush HD and welcome to a brand new episode of my FIFA 13 X-Player Squad Builder, where today we'll be taking a look at the X-Players of Porto, which was suggested by subscriber Charlie Edwards. Sorry for not uploading this series that much. I've got loads planned, don't worry guys, I've got all of your suggestions, but I just haven't got around to recording them, but I'm going to change that, and today we're taking a look at X-Porto. So the manager, we're going to have Andrés Villas-Boas. Currently the manager for Tottenham, had a spell at Chelsea, didn't do too well, had a fairly decent spell at Porto as well, winning, I think, I'm not too sure on the number of trophies, but he had actually a fairly decent spell, and we're playing the 4-3-3 formation. So in goal, we got a keeper called Beto. He plays for Seville at the moment, and plays in the Liga BVA, Portuguese player, and he had 12 appearances at Porto, was their second keeper backup for HowTo, who seems to be pretty solid, so I don't think he's going to be swapped much in the future. But he was on loan to Seville at first, but I think Seville have brought him to replace Diego Lopez, who went to Real Madrid, and he's actually a fairly decent player on this game. Moving to the right back, we have Jose Basingwa, the guy who, ex-Chelsea player, currently plays for QPR. I think that's mainly for the money. I'm not too sure on that one, but I'm not sure if he's thinking of moving or anything, because obviously QPR have been relegated. But he had 107 appearances at Porto before moving to Chelsea, I think along with when Mourinho moved. And he moved for 16.3 million, which is actually quite a big amount, which I don't think was the best. I'm not too sure on that one. Moving on to the first centre-back, we have Pepe, the aggressive centre-back, currently plays for Real Madrid, had 64 appearances at Porto before moving to Real Madrid in 2007, where he currently has 138 appearances. Very, very good player, very good defender in real life and on this game. Shame about his aggressive attitude, though. You always got to get that good old kick to a striker or something. But again, a fairly decent player in this game. Moving on to the second centre-back, we have Ricardo Costa. Again, plays in the Liga BVA and plays for Valencia. And he started off at Porto B as a senior career, should I say. Then moved to Porto and had 75 appearances at Porto before moving to the Bundesliga, and then finally ending up at Valencia, where he currently is at since 2010. He's currently got 67 appearances from Valencia, and he's not a bad card in this game either. He's got an inform card, which is a lot better. His pace is okay, but it could be a bit higher. If it was a bit higher, he'd be a very, very good player indeed. And moving on to the final defender, we got a fellow teammate of Costa's, and that is Sissoko. He cost me 800 coins, plays for Valencia. He had 23 games at Porto before moving to Lyon, which I think he had actually a fairly decent few years at Lyon before finally moving to Valencia in 2012. Moving on to the midfield, the first midfielder we have is Anderson, the Manchester United holding midfielder, should I say. He's a bit more defensive, and he's got 18 appearances before Porto before moving to Manchester United in 2007, and that was about 6 years ago, so he's around 19 when he moved, so a fairly young player when he moved, but he's definitely worth it. I'm not too sure on the amount, but I think he's actually a fairly decent player, good holding midfielder, and fairly decent Brazilian player for Manchester United. Moving on to the next centre mid, we have Freddy Guain, currently plays for Internazionale in the Serie A, and he cost me 1,500 coins. Not a bad player in this game whatsoever. Very good defensive holding centre mid / CDM. He got 63 appearances for Porto and 11 goals before getting on loan to Inter Milan, and Inter Milan finally bought him in 2012. Again, he hasn't really come to the scene. He's a good player, he just hasn't made it up there to the top teams playing with the top players. Inter were a good team, but they just haven't done that well this season. Wonder what they'll be like next season. But moving on to the final midfielder, we got HowTo, who very, very recently moved. As you can see here, I've still got his Porto card, but currently now plays for AS Monaco. Moved in this transfer window. It cost me 2,500 coins. That's because it's his summer transfer. But he had 83 appearances for Porto before moving to Monaco this year. For Porto, he played for Sporting Lisbon, where he had 163 appearances. So congrats to him. That's quite a few appearances for a squad, and he's had a very decent career at Porto. Very good player and good player on the game, and it'll be wonder what he's like when he actually plays for Monaco. I think their team will be it would be different to see what they'll actually play like. Moving on to the attackers, the first player we're going to have is Hulk. He a Brazilian player, currently plays for Zenit St. Petersburg. He had exactly 100 appearances for Porto and 54 goals, meaning he scored basically every other game. Very, very good performance for him. And he's just had a very decent season for Porto, a couple of years at Porto. He moved to Zenit in 2012 and he's only had 18 appearances. He hasn't played that much for Zenit, but I think he only went for the dosh. It's a shame about that, but I think he's actually quite a few clubs actually currently want him. So I wonder where he will actually go in this transfer window, or he may even stay. Moving on to the left wing, we've got another ex-Porto, well, obviously, but a player who just recently transferred, and that is James Rodriguez. Now went in the same deal with Moutinho to AS Monaco. Him and Rodriguez and Moutinho went, I'm not quite sure on the actual amount, but he is actually a very, very good player. I think he's had around 65 appearances, for Porto and 25 goals. He's actually a young player, I do believe. I'm not 100% 21, so he's got ages to develop. A very, very good player indeed. And I wonder what he was do at AS Monaco. And yeah, he's actually a very, very good player at the moment. Had a fairly decent season at Porto, and it'll be surprising what he'll do. Moving on to the final player of the squad. And now it's going to be Rodriguez's teammate, and that is Falcao, who again has moved to AS Monaco. Quite a few AS Monaco players in this squad now. They obviously like the ex-Porto/Porto players. But we have Radamel Falcao, who's probably one of the best strikers in the past couple of years. Cost me 35k, and that's obviously because that is his most recent card. He's got about 6 cards out there. It's kind of ridiculous. But very, very good player indeed. And I think he only had 51 appearances for Porto, but 41 goals in 51 appearances. That's a fantastic record. Before moving to Atletico Madrid in 2011, and then finally moving to Monaco in this transfer window. So it'll be surprising again to see how good, how strong, and how well he actually plays for Monaco in the upcoming seasons. But guys, that's all the squad, as you can see there. And that is the final players. You've obviously got Ricardo Carvalho and the likes of Deco and other players. And guys, if I've missed any of your players, put that in the comments. Say why you think they should be there and stuff like that. Put that in the comments. I enjoy reading them and seeing what players I may have missed. Also, remember to click that like button. Also, if you've got any suggestions, any squads slash teams you want me to do, put that in the suggestions and I'll be happy to do them. I've got a massive list of all the players, so don't worry if you've suggested and you don't think I've actually noted it. I've noted all of them down. I've gone through all my comments and stuff like that. So just make sure you subscribe to stay for those extra episodes coming in the future. I've got plenty coming out. I'm going to subscribe to my channel because I've got other different series out there as well. So guys, this is the end of the episode. This has been Crochet. Until next time, adios!